Hello there, viewers. Got another project. This is a Gourmia Air Fryer that seems to have given up the ghost just in time for Halloween. When it gets plugged in, nothing shows up on the display and it otherwise seems to be dead. So we're going to see if we can take this thing apart and figure out what's wrong with it and see if we can get it back online. Well, first things first. Let's make sure we unplug it before we start working on it. I'm going to start by seeing if we can get into the top of this thing. I'm going to use a scraper here. Looks like there's 5 clips that go all the way around the top here. Looks like we have 4 Phillips screws holding the top casing on. So we'll go ahead and take those out. Alright, so that's loosened up. There is a vent in the back here. To get this free, we just need to kind of unhook it from the bottom. And then we tip it forward. There's a circuit board here that has 2 plug-in connectors. So we're going to release these 2 to free this up. There's a catch on the top of this, so we'll push that down and then disconnect this. And same thing with this one up here. That allows us to remove the top. Let's take a tour of what's going on in here. We've got the power coming in here. We've got our heating element. This looks like a thermistor, which is a safety device that if this overheats, this cuts off power. We've got our convection fan, and we've got the controller board here that's got some relays. I think the first thing we're going to check is this thermal fuse here, because if this thing is broken, that would explain why this thing's not working. So we'll start by taking this out. You just have to loosen that enough to get this out from under the clip. And we'll slide the insulation off here. And that's the thermal fuse right there. It looks like it's attached to this terminal here, so we'll disconnect it and then we can test this electrically. So we've got that isolated. I'm going to use a multimeter here to test the thermal fuse. I'm going to put this on continuity test. So if we have continuity, we should hear a buzz. So I'm going to hold one lead on each side of this thermal fuse, and there's no continuity, so this thermal fuse is blown. So if I hold these 2 together here, we get the beep, and here no beep. So we'll replace this thermal fuse and see if that fixes this thing. I was able to find thermal fuses on eBay actually. This one here is rated 192 degrees Celsius, 10 amps, 250 volts. This original one was crimped in here, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this fuse out and I'm going to solder this one to the existing leads. Okay, so we've got this new thermal fuse soldered into place here. We'll cover it back up with this insulator. And we'll reinstall it here. Here's the bolt on the back side of this thing. I can put my finger on to keep that from turning. And we'll reconnect this. Okay, we're going to reconnect the circuit board here. There are two cables here. Before I close this back up, let's see what happens when we plug it in. Ha-ha! It's back to life. Well, it looks like we had a successful repair. All this Gourmia needed was to replace its thermal fuse, and now we've got it back online. Just need to put the 4 screws back in the top here and snap that lid back on here, and we're all done. Well, I hope you found this to be useful or entertaining. If you did, please hit subscribe. Until next time, bye-bye.